Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this morning edition of June 10th, 2017. As we continue to resonate, translate, lead into this beautiful, fantastic renaissance, and of course, already the established peace on earth throughout the entire planet, inner and out, and of course, unity, and of course, the magnificent upgrading and ascendable ability and ascendance and transcendence of the very nature of the, once again, golden age that we are in and also creating and also accelerating into and in. This is the magnificent golden age of course, creation, creativity, of multiple, multiple buildings and many new fantastic crystalline structures, which of course, some very good models which are latticed, for example, are on the moon. But I already explained how the cosmic lattice is, for example, something we can interact with and mold, shape, and then, of course, that's very, very fantastical, interesting, and very, of course, accelerating. Allows us to accelerate in ascendance, and of course, be not only a golden planet but a crystal planet, and of course, we shine incredibly bright. And of course, as we are that we are becoming, we are already in that state. Of course, like basically crystalline body's DNA, and it's getting accelerating a lot faster. However, it is important that this beautiful, fantastic understanding is even more accelerated, and of course more, even more peaceful, more orderly, more unified, even more cohesive. Like the very fantastic nature. For example, the different properties of water. Of course, there's even more elements, one, that we can create. And of course, with those new elements, which is something I already talked about, of course, the new essence of universal nature can also become placed into play. And then, of course, that speed, for example, of the very fantastical, for example, simplified nature, which I have already condensed, or, for example, can be condensed and is condensed, for example, in a very small surface area. For example, the type of energy, the amount of energy that exists in a type 78 civilization, energy harnessed to, 10 to the power of 786 watts. Very, very, as well as that, a type 71 or even a type 59 or a type 54 civilization. That amount of energy, of course, can be is the same type of thing that can be utilized and then created, for example, in even in multiple, of course, in this super complexity, unified yet creative splash of many different, of course, planets, solar system, stars, which can, of course, be built out of the essence of what not only is one imagination, but of course the type 32 civilization, type 30 civilization, and the type 25 civilization. Power outputs of 10 to the power of 250, and 10 to the power of 30, 10 to the power of 306 watts, and 10 to the power of 326 watts, accordingly. New elements which can be built and even supplemented and even used, of course, into the very, very, what's been called the subatomic or the atomic level. And then, of course, those can transition very easily through what's been termed quantum confusion or quantum physics, quantum energy. That type of energy is of course allows not only elements that haven't, quote, like elements that haven't been like discovered yet, but actually are in play for the very, importance of, for example, creation of, for example, ascendance, transcendence, and therefore to, of course, unite. And of course, there's many elevated levels of transcendent nature, many different dimensions. But of course, this is very key, to say the least. Of course, these elements can be used to combined and then created in these many different types of crystal structures. One that already exists, two that are going to be built, as well as the many different geometrical shapes, which for one already being mentioned, for two can already be built. And of course, for example, there can be scales and models in those designs, but of course they're all going to be advanced and even created even faster, not only with our accelerated ability to manifest, but with our accelerated ability to have these be a thought form. So these can be for example, a seed, or it could be a tool, instrument, or a ball, or a focus, or an object, or an animate object, or an actual spiritual, or like for example, an idea, or just an essence of the actual product, or for example, like ethereal fire is a good example, or like a fire, like a flame, or unmovable, or energy, or chi, external chi, internal chi too, but external chi. The fantastical nature of course, these fantastic structures, of course, are not only used for transportation and for transcendence and for communication and for more steady production, and of course, I guess like a beacon could be used for absolute acceleration of a type of into and making, for example, type 89 then a type 90 civilization. These of course grand leaps and bounds, but of course that's very fantastic, very important, and very key, and of course that's what is transcendental nature itself, which is transcendental nature itself, which is transcendental, unlimited, of course, and of course just and there's many different types and many different forms of creations that can accelerate and be useful toward many different forms of what already exists in terms of water, land, and however it's going to be more utilized, more influenced, and more key, and even more amazingly fantastic of the truth that exists in astral projection. It is amazing. Wow, it is amazing. Amazing how fantastic astral projection is. It is so, I mean, this is just something I just want to say. It is so real. It is so truthful. It is so real. It is so real. And let's call, I don't know, let's call it, I want to use a new term. So, not just gut instinct or intuition and clairvoyance and clairsentience with astral projection, but let's, of course, which is super exciting for spiritual advancement in general, is let's do spiritual, let's call it, it's sort of like firebending, like spiritual firebending, or like a dolphin, kind of like a fire dolphin, maybe a super animal, super fire animal, number 2, crystal blaze. How about that? Crystal blaze, I like that. crystal blaze, crystal flame, crystal fire. So that so a crystal fire, crystal burning or crystal ignition is very fantastical, very true, very powerful, very key, and very unique from the truth because it happens incredibly fast. Speed of thought. It's so true. Wow. So exciting. So real. It is the realest thing ever. That everything is peace. For example, for example, like a connection of like this beautiful crystal fire, this connection, this is happening so fast. It is so amazing. I mean, of course, and it's already known, like this, the Guardians are just absolutely super excited, just going nuts with excitement, just absolutely enjoy and just awe, and same thing with the Space Family. They're just absolutely just flabbergastedly joyous, like blown away, just in absolute thunderstruck, crystal blazed, and absolutely just super ignited, crystally ignited. For example, just DNA shifts on so radiating fast levels, like radiation. However, this is once again a actual spectrum, like going through the photon belt. So, photon belt. So. Key evolutionary transformation of nature is the very fact of this beautiful celebration, of course, which is so grand and even very exciting. This is incredibly peaceful, very exciting, and this is only the beginning. This astral projection is this crystal fire is so exciting that it's just absolutely it's that whole presence and in tune and just oneness and just amazingness. I love you all. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this morning edition of June 10th, 2017. Fantastically emanating peace, ascension.